Greetings and welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and Banshee. This is me, Oberon, with my weekly show, Goth Tarot, and it's a weekly look into the shadow issues of our lives. Who knew so much darkness could pervade our thoughts and our feelings? But I try to give us a heads up with that by doing a very layered kind of reading, and I'm working with what some magicians or occult people might see as the Solomon's Triangle, Solomon's Pyramid, the two interlocking triangles, an ascending one and a descending one, and then a space in the middle for a seventh card. So by layering them, what I actually mean with that is, of course, I use different decks for different kinds of positions or meanings on that diagram you saw there. And it's all about finding the imagery that sparks an image to me and maybe to you. Okay, so we're going to get started. So the first position I call the dark design, and it's the overall environmental factors that's going on. It may be what you actually feel around you now, whether it's just atmosphere, or it could pertain to events going on. And I use the Murder of Crows tarot. It's mostly a black and white and kind of grim and gritty, lots of crows, of course. What is the dark design? What is the environmental factors? What situations are we operating with? It's the upright hanged man. There's a feeling here that we are considering courses of action, and there may be various weights or balances to that we feel we might have to make certain sacrifices, but we are considering this at this point. And so overall, that feeling is sort of guarded in a way, I guess you would say. Okay, so position 2 is the dark drama, the influences that others may have. I've decided to use my Gothic Tarot of the Vampires for that. It has a lot of people going on in there and drama, so I think it might complement this reading well. So these are the influences. These could be things that people are talking about, whether you know or not, but they have the ability to influence you or others. And so that card is the Tower. So there are influences around you, or people who believe you're in a trial of some sort. That's also indicated by the hangman there. But that in this trial, people expect you to come to understand or learn some necessary lesson. And so it could be that these are people who feel it's time you learn this lesson. They could possibly be people who want you to come forward with that lesson. But of course it's the Tower, and so never forget that whether they wish this for you or that they feel it's coming, there's a definite sense of a fall, an ego, something breaking, something falling, and that's where the lesson comes in. Maybe it's possible people think that where you're going with that card, trying to be considerate of the sacrifices or choices you make, will teach you a lesson, but you'll still have a cost of some sort. It sounds grim. So then our next position I call the Dark Destiny, and it's more or less the idea of moving forward, what could possibly be the most direct or precise points of contact coming up. The most possible futures, I guess, is another way of looking at it. And I'm using the Deviant moon because the moon, symbolically in folklore, otherwise, stands in for that idea of the future, or of looking towards the future. And so this is not necessarily the very precise future. This could be the contour of what the future looks like at this point in time. It may or may not relate to the other cards even. Okay, what is our Dark Destiny then? It's the reverse Ten of Swords. This is a good card. The reverse Ten of Swords may indicate that ultimately we banish the forces that are trying to defeat us. Tens in and of themselves may seem to be a card that presages endings or completions. So this could represent that in the process of a completion, not only do we come out relatively good finishing this, but we ultimately defeat adversarial forces. All right, so now we move down to our lower triangle, the descending triangle in its first point. And we're looking at the dark shadows. What is still haunting us? Although we have this sense maybe of where we're going and how we're doing it, are there any ghosts or demons or spirits, figurative or literal, that may be haunting us in this? And so for that, I'm using the Goth Tarot, naturally. What haunts us? Oi. It's the Tower again. It's upright again. And what haunts us is we are wondering, will we get through this Tower moment, this literally destruction moment? Will we be able to pick up the pieces? What will we learn or understand? It's quite interesting that the Tower appears twice. Keep in mind, this is a general reading, and to some degree, it's even a collective reading. This is not necessarily just about how each of us may feel in our lives. This may be about collective things, you know, societal, cultural. So I find it really interesting that the Tower turns up twice. That's all I'm going to say at the moment. All right, so now we're moving to the next point, and that's called the dark truth. What it is that we must accept, a truth that maybe we don't like, but we have to accept it. For that, I am using the Black Tarot. And once again, I want to thank everybody for coming to the reading. Goth Tarot is here to look at those things that maybe sometimes other people can't always see or don't want to see. There's no better way to put it than that. So once again, what is that dark truth? What is the kind of truth that we don't want to, but may have to accept? It's the Five of Wands. And the Five of Wands, well, it talks about people working together, maybe a little competitory, but maybe also to really working for a similar goal. And when it's wands, it can be about business, it can be about creativity, it can be about all kinds of projects or tasks or situations. So the dark truth is that we may have to work with people we don't normally work with or want to work with, or we may have to shuffle aside our conceptions of who's really leading things, who's the one in charge. Maybe we just have to accept that somebody else is, and we have to work with them. We have to support them. Okay. I think we will now move on to the final point. The dark twist. This is actually not the final point because we're going to go to the center. But it's the dark twist. And the dark twist is a Murphy's Law thing. If it can happen, will it happen? What kind of dark twist? Something really unexpected. Something that maybe we so far have not been able to determine the cards, and that maybe even in the normal course of things, many of us might not see this coming. Only as Cassandra types. So for the dark twist, I'm using the Haunted House Tarot. How fun is that? It's actually pretty nice. Many of my decks are by Low Scarabeo, but not all. Some of them are from other brands or their own publishers. Okay, what is the dark twist? That's another 10. It's the upright 10 of Pentacles. The dark twist could very well be not understanding that we have our honest partners, our honest family or community, even if we maybe feel like we're being forced or we're not exactly steady-minded about working with others. Something has our back. It could be any sort of overstructure. You know, by an overstructure, I mean maybe, you know, a part of the community, somebody who understands things differently because they've been there before. I'm going to be vague with that one. The dark twist is a good twist. This could be saying really somebody really kicks in with resources to help in this situation. And you know, let's be honest here. Unlike a lot of my Goth Tarot, this situation almost really smacks of something going on greatly in the culture right at this moment in time, as in the American USA, we move very close towards our fall elections. And of course, I'm not going to say anymore, but a lot of people are really excited and disturbed at the same time about what they feel could be happening. So some of this really definitely should resonate with you depending on where you are with that. But like I said before, this could be relating to people's personal lives too. Don't discount that. So what now is the dark gift? The magic, the intuition, the resources, whatever it is, from the Crow's Magic Tarot, what is that dark gift that maybe helps us in all of this? And of course, maybe we don't need it. Some of these things look like they really are carry their own energy and will work towards their conclusion. But is there any dark gift that would also be helpful here? And bam, it's the reverse Six of Coins. And the dark gift is that maybe people are going to have to understand that they may have to give something without an expectation of receiving anything commensurate with that back. And of course, it's no coincidence perhaps that we're right underneath the Hanged One, the Hangman, the card of sacrifice, and above the Tower. When I look at the overall mixture here, that's what I feel is that, of course, this could be a really big societal kind of situation going on, and there is a cost. Maybe it's not necessarily financially, you know, that kind of cost. Maybe it's a cost to people's souls in some ways, or souls or integrity. But I think something big is going on here. So I want to conclude. I don't want to keep everybody all day. I think these readings were kind of awesome. The bam, bam, bam nature of part of that sequence. I want to leave us with some shadow work from the Earth and Bone Oracle deck by Syrian Shadow. It's a lovely deck. I love using it. I use it on our live stream if asked for by people. TFT, Tarot for Today. Shadow work and an affirmation. And you know, somehow I know it's going to resonate and kind of pair well with the reading, or with at least specific cards from the reading. I don't know how it happens, but it does. Burrow. Exhaustion, lack of energy, questioning motivations, realignment. Your soul has a growth spurt. Tremendous change and transformation is upon you and within your inner knowing, regardless if you are conscious or subconscious of the change. You may be tired because your soul is trying to match your energetic vibration of a new reality. It is trying to align you with who you are on a deeper, soulful level. In being out of alignment, there is a need to match your inner self to your physical self, which is like playing catch up. And it is leaving you exhausted. Do not fret. There are things you can do to strengthen your connection with yourself and receive from the universe. Practice meditation so that you may commune and meet with your true self in order to see what it is you truly desire. Open yourself up and practice vulnerability. Do not push shame aside. Embrace the feelings that may be uncomfortable and do whatever it is that your soul begs you to pursue. In regards to people who may criticize while you embrace your authenticity and vulnerability, remember their feedback is invalid if they are not the ones stepping up to the plate or facing off in the arena. Faith and vulnerability brings you closer to your higher self and who you are destined to be. Embrace past feelings and memories that make you uncomfortable and learn to heal them. Think of what makes you feel suppressed and acknowledge it, but never let it control your path or direction. Listen to your heart and create stillness to hear it. Spend time in nature and connect with the flow of energetic healing. Affirmation. I do not give consent to the consumption of my energy. I call back all of my energy that serves my greatest good. And I think it fits more or less with the reading. This may be a time for us to really conserve a little bit, burrow in and meditate upon all this, to realize that people have expectations for ourselves, the Tower, but ultimately other people will have our back. The Ten of Pentacles there in that one card. We just have to continue doing the work, whatever it is. And remember that the signs seem to be pointing for things to work in a better direction, as long as we're willing to work with others too. So this is Oberon signing off for Goth Tarot this week. And don't forget to watch the other programs. Don't forget to watch our live streams on Thursdays and Sundays. The emotion exchanges on Fridays. There will be a happy hour on Saturday. And of course, Banshee's Material Matters on Sunday too. And we'll roll the credits on that. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.